Hi, I'm Hildegard Lisa Folon and I would love to share a following story with you. It's actually an experience lived during my time as a job counselor in a Brussels organization who takes care of homeless people. So they give them activities during the day so they can get out of their isolation. And also, there is a possibility in that organization to follow a trajectory towards a job. And that was my responsibility. I had to guide these people, these homeless people, towards a job, which was quite a challenge. And there is a little remark that I want to make before I continue with the story that I would like to tell. Um, which was very something which returned constantly during my time as a job counselor for homeless people was the following. Most of the time they entered into my office and they said immediately like, I want to do cleaning, I want to clean the streets, I want to clean the house, I want to be a caregiver for children. So that was not with one, but two, three, four, and let's say plenty of homeless persons who were saying that. And I said, like, listen, this is something which is not really coming from inside of them. It is given from outside to them because of the desperation, the isolation. They needed to have a job as soon as possible, and people don't give possibilities to homeless people anymore because of how they look like, because how they are dressed, because of the judgmental behavior that is inside of our society towards these people, while they are having huge qualities which are not seen because of the superficiality. Anyways, so that I just wanted to tell in between the story of that woman and the guidance that she was getting from me during my time as a job counselor. So she entered my office, and yes, I was going to give her the guidance. And within 3 weeks, she had that job. Within 3 weeks, while she was already searching for a job for 2 years, maybe. Yes. So, and then I think to myself, how is it possible that one can give within 3 weeks a job while that woman was being guided and was searching already for 2 years in Brussels for a job? You see, so I think it has really to do with listening to what a person is really telling you, seeing what is inside of that person. You see, so we found that job in another city because of her partner who already worked there during the week. So she was totally alone in Brussels during the week with her two children, without money, without a job. She was totally alone because she didn't have a network. She didn't trust people anymore, which is actually normal, you know. Everywhere where she went, she got a no. Everywhere where she went, she was judged as being an irresponsible mother. So of course she was getting more and more isolated. So I'm going to read that story for you. I have written it down on my blog. I'm going to open it. So I'm going to read that story from my phone. It's the most easiest thing to do for me, so that is why. And there we go. So the title of the story is Happy with the Gift You Are, and it's something which also lives deeply inside of me, in my soul. My soul strongly believes that we should live from the deepest of our realms, from the gift we are. Happy with the gift you are. The memory of her courage, her silence, her smile, lets me write these words on blank paper, while the red rose highlights her heart with the gift she is. So, and that is also because of the present that she gave me. I will tell you about it a bit later, okay? She arrived in my office, anxiously for the unknown. Still, persistence was visible in her eyes. You helped me in finding a job in the city of my dreams, she said, but I have no shelter. I have no house to stay with my children. Please help me, she said. Help me in finding a home. Any social institution wants to support the risk I want to take, she said. Namely, move with my two children to another city, away from Brussels towards the city where their father works, away from the desperate social situation, a one-room apartment with no central heating, no warm water. It is winter time, and within some weeks we will get kicked out of the room to end up on the street. No one gives the support to find a home in another city. Disbelief in my ability to manifest my dreams, disbelief in my potential to start a new life, makes people say to be an irresponsible, unstable mother. And it made her doubt about her decision. It was so visible on her face. It made her almost withdraw from her decision. And I said, like, listen, I need to support this woman because I saw she could do it. And I believed in the accomplishment of her dream. So, yes, her situation looked uncertain. Still, she vibrated strength through her vulnerability. The will to move mountains was visible in her desperate eyes. My whole being told her to stand by her side until she could take her next steps independently again. Although as a job counselor, it was not my responsibility. We did walk together until she accomplished her dream. It was through constant motivation, instant positive feedback about her little moves. It was the ongoing support during her journey, the carte blanche of my coordinator during my guidance to the manifestation of her dreams that kept her going. It made us non-stop knock on each door without results for weeks. I kept her saying we would find it. Any shelter kept the door closed for a mother with two children. Her situation was not critical enough, they said, although she would stand in midwinter on the street with her two children. They could not give her any support. The waiting lists of the shelters were never-ending streets, so that was not a solution either. We had some more days to find that apartment before she was going to be kicked out of her one-room apartment in Brussels. Isolation, desperation, aloneness reflected in her eyes while she entered my office again, and we had one more day. My eye caught a glimpse of the advertisement for the host on the screen of my computer. And I said like, hey, this is it. With steady fastness, I said to her, come, take your jacket, we go together. So I knocked on the door of my coordinator, told him we found a possible home. And again, I had to ask him for that carte blanche. I had to ask it because something said into myself, you have to guide that woman towards that apartment. She doesn't speak the language. She doesn't know how our culture works. She doesn't know how our system works. So how could she even find that house? How could she stand there for herself, you see? So I said like, listen, I have to go. I really have to go with her. I know we will get it, I said to my coordinator. Give me that chance. And he said, yes, you can go. If you don't have any other appointments, don't have any other responsibilities to take today, then you can go. I said, I don't. And I cancelled another appointment, but I wanted to give that woman that apartment. So my client and I took the train, and I will never forget that moment because she bought me a chocolate bar, and while I was eating that chocolate bar, she was telling me her story. She was telling me how she arrived in Brussels, how she came here actually, how she lived her life with her parents as a child, what she did do there, how she studied, which clothes she was wearing or not. And yeah, it is something it will always stay. And it is not only with her. It is with all these homeless people who entered my office. They all had such a story with them, which is one of courage, silence, and persistence, and belief and faith to continue no matter what. So I looked into her eyes and said, I looked into her eyes while she was telling these stories, and I said to her, listen, have faith, you will come home. We reached the city of her dreams, her house, where she lives and works now, happily together with her 2 children, her partner, and the father of the children. She cried when we took the train to Brussels again, and it was one day before she was going to be kicked out of her room. It gave her all she needed to continue independently on her road. It gave her the faith to go alone again. I looked at her while she stepped out of the train and I took a deep breath. We never met again. Until some days ago, I got a phone call of my organization and I show it again. She entered that organization where I'm not working anymore and she brought me this box of pralines and I'm so thankful for it. I'm so thankful because it brought me again to that story, to that moment in the train while I was eating my chocolate bar, and it brings me to Grace. Grace that knocks at the door and that brings me to her story again, to the journey towards a new home, while the rose of her present highlights my heart with thankfulness. Thankfulness for her gift. My whole being is happy with the gift you are. Thank you. Thank you for your listening and have a nice day. I just want to add something. When somebody is knocking on your door and that person doesn't look like you were thinking the person should be, still have a listening ear and look deep side into the eyes of that person and you will see the soul, you will see the gift of that person and you will find home together. Thank you.